Hello, welcome to the Steampunk Academy inaugural Adult Science Fair kickoff party at Kiitos. We have a live studio audience tonight, but they're socially distanced. This is the part of the summer where you pretend that you're back in grade school. I'm Sky. I'm the co-founder and creative director of Steampunk Academy and the marketing coordinator of Utah Arts Alliance, which is one of our partners. And this is...
I'm Justice, and I am the also co-founder of Steampunk Academy, and my day job is a professor of psychology at Salt Lake Community College.
When I was in middle school, I did a science fair project where I debunked horoscopes.
And I did one that I quoted Dead Kennedy's lyrics, and so I had to have a parent-teacher conference over it. I think my parents were proud.
Yeah. We want to start off with a land reminder, just to remember that we are here today on stolen Indian land, or not Indian land, Paiute, Shoshone, Paiute, Ute, and Goshu tribes, and also Black Lives Matter. Today we're going to walk you through what this looks like, what this science fair will look like. We're going to go over the guidelines and share some of the materials that will help you be successful. We're also going to show you an example of a successful science fair project done by an adult.
Or almost an adult. So first off, we also want to thank Kiitos for being willing to host all our silliness, both tonight and then also for our main event that will happen in early September. They are not open for sitting in quite yet because they're taking this time as an opportunity to remodel, make the place bigger and better. But their beer store is open for pickup Monday through Saturday from noon to 8, so you can still grab some of your favorite Kiitos beer. So we do, as we all know, the elephant in the room is COVID-19. That's why tonight's not a live event. We will do everything we can to make the early September competition live, but we'll do what we got to do to make sure that we're, making sure keeping ourselves and our community safe. So.
Yeah. And the reason we're not wearing masks is because we live together and we're at a table, and you're allowed to do that at Kiitos. When you sit down, you don't have to wear a mask anymore.
Yes, Kiitos has allowed us to live together.
Yeah. Yes. So we're going to go over the details. And don't worry, you don't need to take copious notes because we will be posting a PDF of all the materials that you will need.
And this video will be, you can refer back to.
Yeah. If you have any questions, please post them in the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments. We'll be able to see them come up, and we will address them as they come up. And that's all I got.
So you have from now until September to make a totally rad science project. We will need you to register via a Google form that we will send out after this. And we ask that you register in the next 2 weeks. Even if you don't have an idea yet, that's okay. We just want the teams registered. We are asking for a $20 donation. Also will help keep you from flaking out. Right? You got to commit your $20. You got to use, get what you paid for.
Sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah, sunk cost fallacy. We're using science to our benefit here. So we'll want you to register by July 2nd, and then we want you to pitch your idea for your science project by July 16th. We'll go into more details in a little bit, but a big part of this is we are requiring that we approve them. And also we have an army of mentors to help you if you want to get some assistance and guidance. So we have STEM and social scientists, we have engineers, graphic designers, educators that are happily volunteering their time to help you. So we can pair you up with someone that's an expert in kind of the questions that you're trying to answer.
And they're the cool scientists, not the lame ones.
Yeah, they're cool and stuff. Yeah, they have tattoos and they're cool. Most of them are, at least. And then also we're giving you all the summer until early September because some projects, some projects might only take a day, but some, might take a little bit longer to collect your data, or build whatever you're building. So we want to make sure people have plenty of time.
Some of you are like testing how fast water will boil while you're looking at it, and that you can do that in an afternoon. But some of you are going to watch plants grow to see if they really crave electrolytes.
Yeah.
And you'll need 6 to 7 weeks for that.
So let's see. So yeah, once we have the date set on the final competition here at Kiitos, we will let you know. So you'll have plenty of heads up. Just know it'll be early September, probably that first week. Cool. Yeah. So as I said, the first step is just get a team together and register. Teams can be any size. The final event will be 21 and up, though. So if you do have people that are under 21 participating on your team, that's fine, but they unfortunately won't be able to attend the final event. You're welcome to have your kids help as long as they don't do all the work for you.
That's a big no-no. That's cheating. And once you come up with your proposal, as we mentioned, we have some very cool scientists that are willing to help and will help you figure out how to do what you want to do, or how to phrase your question in a way that's better to test. And also make sure that it's legal and ethical, because you can't break any laws. Yep.
And we will talk about that here in a second in a little bit more detail when we get into the whole fine print stuff. But yeah, once you're approved, get to it. Don't procrastinate like you did with your homework back in school. And like I said, we have mentors that will help as much as you want. What we're also going to do is we're going to send out some helpful guides to help you with resources and things like that. And then we will also do some kind of event, maybe like this. It might just be a live stream, maybe in person, depending on the situation in the Valley with COVID, where we will do some class, but with beer. So.
Yeah. And once you can complete your project, you will be able to, and you need to write up and analyze all your results. We are not going for a Nobel Prize here, but maybe an Ig Nobel Prize. And you should definitely look up what Ig Nobel Prizes are. It's not going to be super rigorous or groundbreaking, but maybe it is. We don't know you. You could be geniuses out there. And that's okay. We just want you to have fun and to try to answer some questions about your world and learn about the scientific method and how you can use that to understand the world better.
Yeah, and in fact, we have an example that we thought might help. So back when we were Science on Tap, I did a little kind of mini science project for Craft Lake City's DIY STEM building. And I was kind of curious about the hidden psychology behind Cards Against Humanity. So even though I am a quote unquote real scientist, I wanted to do something a little more lighthearted, not trying to get it published or anything like that. I just wanted to know if certain psychological principles apply to the decisions people make when they play Cards Against Humanity. And so I gathered a bunch of friends together one night, and I had them just play a game of Cards Against Humanity, and I recorded all their decisions they were making. And so, I might not be able to see this exactly. That's okay. I had some hypotheses that people would make decisions based on that are more likely if the first in a list of things and the last. I also thought that shorter answers would get more selection, better, get chosen more. And then I also wanted to see how different types of humor get picked, right? Do people pick political stuff over bathroom humor, over kind of silliness and whatnot? So yeah, I just brought friends over for a night, fed them pizza and beer, had them play Cards Against Humanity, and recorded everything they did. And then I sought out to try to answer these. And what I found was that what was really interesting, and again, this wasn't super rigorous or anything, but this is kind of like what we're imagining a lot of people would do, is what I found was, in fact, people are almost twice as likely to pick the first card they read than the last card they read. So if you want to win at Cards Against Humanity, be the first card read if possible. What I also found is that people actually were, at least the group I had, were a little more political. compared to the cards that were available. They liked to pick political stuff, but that also they were more likely to pick more taboo kind of bathroom humor or sex jokes later in the game. Maybe after they've had a couple beers, they started loosening up and getting more comfortable and be willing to play those dirty cards a little bit more. And so that's kind of what we're envisioning you might want to do. Maybe you want to know, what's the science behind something like a video game or a card game or who knows what. So yeah, and like I said, we have mentors and we're here to help you along the way. We want you to have pretty fun and successful projects.
So the final competition will be judged by impartial judges, and you will be evaluated on presentation as well. So this was probably a C for presentation. At least get a printer that works, geez.
Spend more than 20 minutes on it.
Yeah, but the science was solid, so we'd call this a B. I don't know if we're going to use that rubric for testing things or judging things, but we'll see. And there will be prizes and there will be beer, so be ready.
So let's get to the rules. They are a little involved, but there's good reason for this. See, in my day job is kind of out in the community. I also judge, kid science fairs, middle school and high school throughout the valley. And a couple years ago, I was judging one of these regional science fairs, and an 8th grader had replicated the infamous Milgram experiment, which we consider to be one of the more unethical psychological experiments ever done. And in a nutshell, it's the original study was how far will people go in thinking they are shocking someone. And so this middle school girl got her little classmates to think that they were shocking another little kid to the point of them crying.
The shocker was crying because they thought they were hurting their friend.
The shocker was crying because they thought they were hurting their friend. No one was actually shocked, but what made it unethical was the fact that it caused psychological stress in the person who thought they were causing harm to someone else. Right? So that she probably should not have been able to do that, and so we want to make sure that you don't make anyone cry in your experiment. So we're just going to lay out some general grand rules on that, so that we can have successful and safe and fun, good, clean, dirty fun here.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna give us your proposal, and our experts are gonna go through it and make sure it meets all these guidelines. The most important is that it's legal. You can't break any laws. If you want to do a marijuana study, go to Wendover or West Wendover.
Yep, gotta get over the line.
Go over the line, and then you're cool. Don't bring anything back, not even in your bloodstream. But that's totally fine. Just make sure it's legal where you're doing your experiments. You can't cause any physical harm to anybody, except there's a hierarchy of sentience in there.
Yeah.
But just maybe not.
Yeah.
Don't do experiments on bugs because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's contextual. So for flowers are more successful, we might let that go because you're kind of already doing that. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to electrocute fish for fun, we would say no to that.
Yeah, it has to be the same level of danger that the thing already experiences.
Yeah.
So we've already decided that fishing's a-okay, so you can do experiments with fishing things.
Yeah, but not shocking.
But not shocking. That's not allowed. Don't shock.
Don't be mean to them.
Don't be mean to fish.
Don't make fun of them.
And that would go into environmental harms. You can't harm the environment. And you can't molest any wild animals.
Oh, that's actually, that's what it says in the Endangered Species Act. You can't molest. Yeah, so don't molest any endangered or threatened, or really any animals. Don't go harassing wildlife.
Yes.
Yeah. And no blowing shit up. Right?
Yeah.
No poisoning water systems.
Don't start fires.
Yeah.
And don't do no social harms, and that's included but not limited to loss of privacy. Don't identify people in your studies. and don't risk embarrassing them or causing them to lose their job because they were doing marijuana with you in Wendover and not West Wendover.
Yeah.
And psychological harms. So you can't, like the Milgram experiment, don't do that. But there's also a level of informed consent. So make sure you communicate to people what they're going to be going through accurately so that they can make a decision that they want to or are willing to do whatever it is you want to do the experiment with. So I did an experiment where I was a test subject and I went into an MRI machine and I looked at porn. And they told me exactly what they were going to do, and I understood, and I consented to watch porn in an MRI machine.
Nice.
And, it was very important because porn is very harmful in Utah.
Yeah. Did you have to click the, I understand that, the new porn law that we have here
I think
in Utah?
this was before that,
Okay.
But there were so many pieces of paper, I don't remember, probably I signed off.
Sign something and you're going to see someone's
that I
dingling.
understand
Yeah.
that there are dinglings, and I'm okay with seeing them.
Yeah, that's about it for the ethics. Again, we're going to have, if you want to do real, peer-reviewed research, you have to go through this, and we're going to have, scientists that do research for their jobs look at these things to objectively say, okay, this looks fine. We just want you to err on the side of just caution, right? Because we want this to be successful. We want to do this every year, and we don't want to get in trouble right off the bat. We don't want, So we want to just keep you from going full Rick and Morty and getting yourself or anyone in trouble or in harm's way. And again, the initial approval also allows us to connect you with people if you wish. If you don't want any assistance, that's fine, but there'll be people that can help at varying levels on things like how to design your study, what some background information you should know about, things like that. And again, they're the cool scientists, which all scientists are cool.
Yeah.
But
these are ones with social skills.
Yeah, they have social skills. Yeah. They're hand selected for their social skills.
They're professional communicators, you might say. So by participating, you are letting us use your photos and your projects for marketing purposes because we are the Stolas marketing department. Unless you specifically asked. And so just get in touch with me and I will blur out your face or we'll just avoid you. If you don't want your coworkers to know that you drink White Claw or something like that.
So just let us know if there's any issues with that.
Yeah.
So, like I said before, there's a $20 registration fee just to help offset the basic costs, help us for some just basic things that we need to pay for this. And then also it keeps you motivated, shows that you care enough to throw down $20. But, if times are tight right now, massive unemployment, if money's an issue, it's not a problem. We're not going to turn anyone away by any means. So, and also along that, we're going to share in one of the guides we send out a list of free and cheap resources that you can use for your project. So,
Okay. You can learn, your team can be of any size. The competition will be at Kiitos, which is a 21 plus venue. So if you have people working on your project who are under 21, they just can't come, but you can share the spoils with them if you win.
And we can also pace these out to the greater public too, if you'll let us, so that there'll be chances for people to see these projects not just that night, but also afterwards.
Yeah.
So, there will be judges. There'll be independent judges. We will release those guidelines and metrics and rubrics and all that stuff. Frankly, once we make them, we haven't done it yet. We've got day jobs. But we'll send those out really soon before you have to pitch your project to us. But generally what we want is the kind of science fair aesthetic. So that's why we are requiring that they be on something like one of these trifolds with drawn on and taped on stuff. Maybe put some glitter.
Yeah. IRL copy paste right here.
Yeah. You could do dioramas and stuff like that if it works for your project, but we just don't want you to show up with a properly printed academic poster.
Yeah.
I have to go to those kind of conferences all the time. And that gets boring. I want to see trifolds.
And no
And glitter
PowerPoint presentations.
Yeah.
There will be no projectors.
Yeah.
There will be no PowerPoints. We do not have a USB drive for you.
Good call. Yeah. And again, we also, like, along with scientists, we have designers and artists to help you with the, and writers and communicators to help you with the communication aspect. Because good science isn't just the research; it's the how do you convey that research to the world. So you will be judged on that, and we're here to help.
Yeah. And this will all culminate in an amazing poster session in September. And we will imbibe and we'll talk and it'll be great. And then the judging will happen. But we are, we listen to the great ones, the wisdom of the great ones, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx. And we're going to take the threat of COVID-19 seriously. So far, so good. It looks like all the models predict that things should be good in September. So let's hope for that. But if we do it we will have our...
Yeah, we'll still have our mask, social distance, space, all that stuff.
Yeah. And if you want a cool mask, I know where you can get a cool mask at the Utah Arts Alliance.
Is that soulless marketing I hear?
That's the most soulless of all the marketing. But we're at the Urban Arts Gallery is going to host a personal protective art show. And you can go get a mask there and paint it and decorate it and display it. And then in September, you can wear it to the science fair. And you can put all sorts of subversive science messages on it.
Bonus points for that.
Bonus points for that, yeah.
Where are we at here? So some other rules, no sandbagging. So sandbagging is a term from like competitive sports where someone competes at a level below their actual level so that they can win more easily. So this event is intended for kind of the general public. If you are a scientist, if you are an expert, we'd be most interested in having you be a mentor or a judge. So reach out to us. You can compete if you would rather just compete, but we want you to do kind of the level of what we're talking about. We want you to, chill the fuck out for once, lay off the graduate studies, and just have some fun, right? So this isn't about trying to do super rigorous research or anything like that. It's about just having fun.
Get drunk and wake up with a geology book in your bed. That's a Big Bang reference. Anyway.
Something about cleavage. That's a geology word.
Oh, it is. It is a geology word. The other rule is no Deadpooling. Now, we all remember back when Deadpool was in the theaters and they showed it at Brewie's. And so all of the glory that is Deadpool was combined with alcohol. And that's a big no-no in Utah. So please, if you're going to do anything blue, any blue science projects, just make sure you blur out the dinglings and the whatnots. And also be mindful that of triggering content and we're going to try to create an event that is as safe as possible, but it's not going to be a safe space. We can't guarantee that it will be a safe space. And so like our friends at the B would say, we're going to create a brave space. So there might be some content that might be challenging to you. We invite you to be brave there or just it'll be okay.
Yeah, we do. If you so want to do something sexy, stuff about alcohol, that's totally fine. We just will have to walk that line that we're not getting too obscene or anything like that, so the Utah busybodies don't jump down our throats.
Yeah.
Our deep throats.
Our deep throats.
And the last, this is a very important one. We are not Melania. We do not tolerate plagiarism or academic dishonesty or making things up. So don't make up data. Don't plagiarize. And hashtag be best.
Yeah.
That's a reference to when she ripped off Michelle Obama's speech.
Yeah, because clearly what she did was she Googled First Lady speech and then selected the very first thing.
Any good plagiarizer knows you got to go to the second page of Google Hits.
Yeah, at least. All right.
Yeah, so we have some other stuff too, like how to get background information for your project. We won't go through all that today necessarily, but we'll send that out. We'll have that posted on our website, on social media, so you can download that. We'll have a guide that walks you through how to get research, and we're here to help with that too. We also have a guide of different tools you can use. So technology, computer programs, physical things. Like, for example, Clever Octopus, the super cool arts and crafts upcycle store. They have trifolds. You can go pick up an upcycled trifold and help the environment if you so wish. There's the maker space over at the Arts Hub. You could probably speak more of that.
Yeah, there's got a great big printer over there. You're not going to find cheaper printing anywhere in the valley, trust me. So if you reach out to us, we'll help you get in there to print things. And if you want to print like big old pieces of paper or even little ones, there's also a vinyl cutter if that's your jam. There's lots of cool stuff you can do there.
Yeah, and there's like Habitat for Humanity, the Restore, so you can get building materials, the Upcycle, the Bicycle Collective, you can get stuff, materials. And yeah, we'll send that out. And if you have ideas that we missed, definitely let us know so we can share it with everyone. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing any questions out in the comment section.
It's because we covered everything.
Yeah,
perfect.
Rock solid.
Yeah.
Boom. Well, with that, cheers.
Happy sciencing.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing all these cool projects, and hopefully we'll be doing this and growing it for many years to come.
Yeah, we look forward to hearing from you and your registrations.
Yeah, so look for that on social media and on our website tonight. You can register anytime between now and July 2nd is when we really want you to get in there, so that we kind of know how many people we're working with and things like that. And cheers.
Cheers.
Stay safe.
Yes.
Wear a mask. Science is real.
Science is real.
Good job.